Okay, we're moving on to pendulums and the tarot. So let's welcome Annalisa, the witch and moon, for our half-an-hour session on pendulums and tarot. And straight after that, we're going to head into our costume show.
Okay, thank you for being here. I would like to talk to you today about the pendulum and some of the uses that you can have with the pendulum, and also how you can use your pendulum with your tarot cards to enhance your readings, and also to experiment with this tool and find other ways that are different from the traditional yes or no answer that is available online and in books, and is the most widespread way of using this tool. Pendulum and tarot are both tools using divination. Divination is that art of seeking answers and insight into questions and circumstances that otherwise would be unknown to us. And divination is a very important part in the development of a magic practitioner or witchcraft practitioner. As you develop your skill, this goes very well with the active principle that you have when you cast a spell or manifest your goals, in which you push your intention forth to the universe in order to make changes to reality. And this go well with the receptive principle of divination, in which you have to open yourself up to be a receiver of the messages from universal consciousness. And the two together form a union that is very important and is very powerful in any practitioner's development. Obviously, there are different tools in divination, and some work best and some less. And the more experienced you are and the more you grow in your practice, the less the use of tools is required. So now I'm going to show you some of the ways that you can use the pendulum with your cards and also on its own. So the first thing, very quickly, when you have a pendulum, is to program it, and so to determine which way the pendulum swing for a yes answer and which way it will swing for a no answer. And I suggest that you do that because sometimes your pendulum may have some residual energy that would will make it behave differently to how you are accustomed to see it behave, or also may respond to your energy field if it is weaker or weakened, sorry, and that may cause the pendulum to swing differently from the way they normally swing. And so once you have done that, some of the ways that you can use it could be to start from the beginning. You could actually choose your deck. So you would let the pendulum choose your deck in a shop. If you are going to the shop to buy a brand new deck and you're not sure which one could be more in tune with your intention and with your practice, so you would ask for a yes or no answer in this case, but you would hold the pendulum above the decks and wait for the pendulum answer. Another way to choose the deck would be, if you're not sure what deck to use in answering a specific question, and the pendulum can come in handy for this purpose as well. Another thing that you should do before using the pendulum with your cards, as I will show you now, is to say a prayer or an invocation in which you state that you wish to be open to receive the messages that would be aligned with either your highest goods, or you ask your spirits or guides to guide you in receiving the most accurate or helpful or beneficial answer that you're looking for. So moving forward, another way that you can use your pendulum with your deck is for cleansing it. You would proceed for the actual cleansing by following one of the methods that you're accustomed to, one of your preferred method, which could be leaving the deck under the moonlight, or saging it, or other ways of cleansing it. And once you have done that, again, you can hold the pendulum above your deck, and you can ask the pendulum if the deck has been cleared of the unwanted energy, or that could be if you had a particularly energetically charged session, or you have been doing readings, many readings in the same day, and you just want to clear it, ready for the next use. So you would ask your pendulum to tell you if the deck is being cleansed. If the answer is no, you may proceed to switch method of cleansing and repeat the cleansing, and then ask again to the pendulum to show you if the deck has been cleansed. So I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to miss any method that I want to show you. So another way to use the pendulum in conjunction with your card would be to determine which question is the best to ask. Let's say that you are approaching a reading and you're not sure which is the question to best to ask, to best answer the situation that you want to gain insight on. And you can actually write your question on pieces of paper, and do the same thing of holding your pendulum above each piece of paper, and see where the pendulum guides you, and which question it will choose to answer, to proceed with your reading. I keep listing the methods. Now we are at the actual picking of the cards. So here there are two ways that you can actually use the pendulum in picking the cards. So you can use the pendulum to do like a proper full reading, even though it may be a bit long and it would take a bit more time in actually picking the cards and drawing the cards out of the deck, as you have to wait for the pendulum. But what I would do would be like you go about your reading as you will normally do. So you focus on your question, you start shuffling, and I would suggest, at least that works for me, that you already have in mind how many cards you would like to draw out, so you know already beforehand what spread you're going to use. So, and then you would find out the cards on the table, maybe spread a bit. You can spread them in different ways, but let's say we do like this. And you say that you want to pick up like, let's say 4 cards. And so you would either hold the pendulum above each card and obviously select the cards that the pendulum is guiding you towards with a yes answer. Or you can actually, if you haven't selected the number of cards that you want for your spread, you can select the cards randomly up until when the pendulum answers no for the first time. So I'm not gonna demonstrate and wait for the pendulum at the moment, because if we are a bit tight on time, this requires a bit more time. And this is a way of picking your cards. Another way, which is a bit quicker, that would be for a 1-card reading, or a 1-card advice. And in this case, again, you shuffle the cards and you ask your question, and then you would cut your deck in 2 piles, like so. And again, holding the pendulum above each pile, you would ask if the card that will provide the advice or the answer to your question is included in pile 1 or pile 2. And let's say this is a bit quicker. So is the card that will give us advice for today in this pile? So the pendulum is advising me that this is the pile. So I will take this pile, discard this one, and then I would cut this pile in two and do the same thing that I've done just now. And you keep repeating the process up until you have like a small pile that is more manageable. And let's say you are left with these cards, because there are not many. You can then individually ask the pendulum for a yes. Is this the card that will contain my advice or my answer? Yes or no? And you proceed until you have the pendulum has selected a card for you. It may be that even if you wanted to pick one card only, the pendulum will point out two cards. In that case, it's up to your intuition to know what to do, if to choose just one card or pick up the second card as well. Another way that you can use the pendulum would be to clarify an area of the spread that you are either not sure about, or you would like to know if there is more information to be known in regards to what you already communicated to the querent, but maybe you're not sure about it and you would like to know more. And this is especially true when you are reading for yourself, when we are not able sometimes to be open and receptive, as we have the yappy dog, maybe not making us listen to our intuition. So you would have a spread, and you can do this couple of things. So let's say I'll put down let's say like this. So as you have read for your client or for yourself, and you're not, let's say you're not sure about this card, and you can ask the pendulum if the intuition, the insight that you received via your intuition was correct. And again, you would wait for the answer from the pendulum in communicating to you if that was correct, your intuition was correct, or you can ask if there were other information that you have not picked up on, and in that case you may draw more cards to clarify that card. You can do the same thing in regards to area of the spread. So let's say if you have a spread and the outcome hasn't been very favorable, and you would like to know more about what okay, the cards normally would explain this in great details, but you know, there's sometimes we are not receptive enough, or some cards are a bit more complex and we cannot pinpoint exactly the right message for our querent or ourselves, and we want to know what the area of greater obstacle is. And in this case, instead of asking like for a yes or no on an individual card, I normally let the pendulum point towards the area. So let's say if in this case the pendulum points towards the middle, and this is like the first part of the Celtic cross, I know that an area to address is the present situation. So maybe the outcome is not favorable for the querent because there's something in the present situation that should be addressed, and the priority should be going in that area rather than worrying about other things. You can personalize these techniques in any way that feel more comfortable to you, and in a way that resonates more with you. Now, there's an extra thing which I think is very cool, and this depends very much on the style of readings that you have, because some people like to do this and some people really do not like this, and which is timing and extra details. So for this in particular, I have printed a pendulum chart, which you can print on the internet or you can make one yourself. I try and show it to you. I don't know if you can see it. This is my favorite pendulum chart. So some people, some readers, like to provide dates for their timing and like to provide initials, especially in love readings. And in that case, you can enhance your reading by using the pendulum and either using the chart like so. So asking, for example, what date is it today in this case? But if it was like maybe which day am I gonna go on that trip that we were considering? And the pendulum would point you towards the numbers. So which day is today? I don't know if you can see it. So the first number is obviously 3. Thank you. Give me the second digit of the date, please. I don't know if you can see it, obviously, because the screen is not very big. And this is the one, so 31, and then we can carry on with the month. And the same thing for the initial. Let's say that you can see in the reading that a person is going to meet a significant other, or there's something significant person coming into the current life, and you want to go deeper and maybe have the initial of the person. You can do the same thing, and the pendulum would point you would guide you to the initial of the person. You can actually spell words in the same way, and I find this very useful, and it's also quite nice to see. So if you want to give a certain look to your readings and you care about being something that is entertaining to watch for the querent as well, this is something that you can integrate in your practice, and it's certainly attract attention of your clients. These are the main ways. There are others, but these are the main ways that I use the pendulum in conjunction with my tarot cards. I would like also to show you some of the ways that I use the pendulum outside on its own without the tarot card. And a very cool way is to, as you know, pendulum and dowsing rods can be used to look for water or lost items. So they sense the energy of an object, of a person, and therefore they are very good to help you in the cleansing of your chakras. So this is something that is easier performed on someone else. So obviously it's very difficult to do it on yourself, but if you have another person and you want to perform this on them, you will ask them to lay down, and you can actually hold the pendulum above each chakra of the person and ask the pendulum to tell you if that particular chakra is balanced or out of balance. In this method, we are still using the yes or no answer, but we are asking for something different. So you would hold the pendulum above each chakra individually, asking individually if each chakra is balanced or out of balance. And most of the times you will have more than one chakra that is out of balance, as this happens very often to everybody, and sometimes more than once during the day. And so you can then take note of which chakras were out of balance, and then you can proceed with your preferred method of chakra cleansing. And then after you've done that, you can repeat the process of holding the pendulum above each individual chakra and see if after the cleansing they have been balanced. Another very cool thing, but that can be a bit controversial, is this one. Same as the energy of the chakras, we can detect illnesses, disease, or states of emotional distress. And I need to do a disclaimer here that the professional advice of a psychic or reader will never substitute the professional advice of a doctor. But in case you are doing this for yourself or just for practice, this could be very useful. This could be useful also in distance healing to find out where the disease or illness starts from. So I printed something else from the internet. You can draw it yourself, but I printed it to be a bit tidier. So this is an outline of a body, very, very simple. This is actually a male body. You can print a female body if you are asking about a female person. And then
3 minutes, Annalisa.
yes, and then you can ask the pendulum to show you in which part of the body there is an imbalance of the energies that can cause, you know, this disease or illness in this other person's body. Very quickly, another thing, you can do the same thing with a word map. So if you want to go on holiday, you can ask the pendulum to show you on the map. In this way, it's not going to be a yes or no answer. It's going to be the pendulum pointing you in the direction where you should go on holiday. You can do the same thing if you have lost an object. And let's say you can draw the room in which you are or the house, and then with the pendulum you can ask to point you in which direction, in which room inside the house that you have drawn on the piece of paper the lost object is. And I find this very cool because the pendulum stops swinging like it normally does for a yes or no answer, but it literally starts pointing you in the direction where the object that you want to locate is. Let's say, for example, I want to locate this pumpkin. So I will ask the pendulum to let me know where the pumpkin is. And the pendulum most likely will start pointing towards the direction of the pumpkin, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, and the very last thing is to ask for direction in, you know, on the roads, and it would be the same principle. So the pendulum would actually show you where to go. So if you are out and about and you want to go somewhere and you don't know where that somewhere is, you just take out your pendulum and ask the pendulum to show you the way. So these are the way that I use pendulum, and I hope that it was something maybe new for you, and you can try and experiment, because that's part of the fun, to grow yourself and develop your practice, develop yourself as a practitioner, and having fun mixing methods and experimenting to find out what tool is best for you.
Annalisa, that was awesome.
Oh, wait 1 second.
Go ahead.
I also received an amazing thing. I haven't used it because the post service has been awful with this COVID. So I received this very beautiful, personalized, made pendulum by our friend Gretel's Metals. And this is customized with gemstone and crystals for your specific sun, moon, and rising sign. And this will be available to order. To know more about it, please go on the Pomegranate Grove website. It was too beautiful. I had to show it to you.
Can I just say something actually about that? Gretel's very kindly donated another pendulum. These are handmade as one of the this is one of the raffle prizes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
very nice. Thank you, Gretel.
But she does earrings, rings, you know, and can do it all with sort of astrological stones, whatever. But yeah, so everyone should have their raffle tickets have been sent to them for the raffle tomorrow night in the grand finale. And this is just one of the amazing prizes. There was a question actually for Annalisa. Did you see it there, Sam?
Yeah. Do you teach how to use the pendulum, Annalisa?
No, I've never done that. But it's fairly simple. It's just literally ask and you will receive the answer. That's as simple as that. Like anything in the spiritual, you need to ask and you will receive. You want to manifestation, ask and you will receive. And that is for the pendulum, also for the tarot card. But no, I never.
Very good. No, maybe you should look into it. It's very interesting. Cool. Thank you very much. That was really great. And you said about the pendulum chart, which people can get online. So what would they Google to find that?
Pendulum charts.
And it will come up.
Yeah.
I know Annalisa, just on the back of that, was talking about chakra balancing. And tomorrow we've got Leslie at 11 o'clock UK time, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, also talking about balancing chakras. So it'll be interesting whether pendulums come up in that talk. I don't know, but yeah, it's very interesting. Beautiful, beautiful work with pendulums, and nice to have something different as well. So